Hey guys, Big Green Dragon here, and we're back for another adventure in the Dragonverse. Remember, familiar powers, unfamiliar heroes. We'll be stepping away from Emerald City for quite some time, and now we get to explore the hero known as Myth Girl. Enjoy. Previously on Myth Girl. The following day, we see Freya standing outside her home. She looks off in the distance at the horizon. Red gold tears begin to fall as she is overcome with emotion. Freya has a long-lost husband. She misses him dearly and weeps for his return. I've never been to Alfheim, so I was wondering if you'd like to accompany me. Yes, I'll prepare my things immediately. You have found him, for I am Oder. Revna smiles and lifts off into the air, leaving Freya and Oder alone. We see several elven warriors making their way through a forest. The moon is half hidden by the clouds. The warriors walk in a tight circle. A few lit torches cast shadows of the warriors upon their surroundings. From a different angle, it appears the elves are being watched by someone or something. The elves continue their journey until the leader spots something. He kneels and picks up a discarded bow. This belongs to Alvar. We must be getting close. Keep your eyes open. The elves continue on their quest. A short while later, the wind begins to blow. The elves are on guard. Something shifts in the darkness. A moment later, one of the elves are grabbed and drawn into the darkness. The remaining elves draw their weapons. Gandalf, we need more light. These torches won't do. The leader nods and casts a spell. Light begins to pour into the dark forest. The elves' eyes widen. They're completely surrounded. Gandalf grits his teeth. Attack, men! The battle begins. The elven warriors attack their foes. The creatures do not go down easily. The elves gain ground until another is dragged into the darkness. Gandalf notices, but keeps fighting. The creatures begin to overwhelm each elf, one by one, until they're defeated. Gandalf keeps fighting until he's all that's left. As his enemies surround him, he knows what he has to do. He prepares a spell that fires light in all directions as the creatures close in on him. Most go down, save for one that strikes a blow against his temple, knocking him unconscious. Gandalf is dragged into the darkness, while a cloaked figure steps out from the shadows. It looks at the torches and blows them out, leaving total darkness. We see Revna as she maintains razor-sharp focus on 5 overturned goblets on a table in front of her. She's in a castle dining hall. Her guest, a giant. He grins widely before the first cup shifts, then the next, and another. Soon, all 5 cups are shifting around the table rapidly. Do your eyes feel tired yet? Revna feels the urge to look at her guest, but remains focused on the shifting goblets. Honestly, sleep doesn't sound half bad, considering you don't try and kill me while I nap. Revna's focus remains steadfast. It wouldn't be the first time an Aesir tried to do so. I hope it's the last. Revna nearly looks up. Instead, she cracks a small smile. The goblets stop shifting. Well, you're no fun. Time's up. Time to choose the goblet I hid the squirrel inside. Revna thinks about her decision as she analyzes each goblet. She reaches for one several times before changing her mind. At last, she exhales and smiles. There's no squirrels inside. The goblets are squirrels. The Jotun smiles at her. Clever little Aesir. The giant waves his hand, and the goblets become squirrels. The squirrels dart from the room, but not before Revna gives each one a pat on the head. How did you know? Unlike my brother, I'm a bit familiar with Sather. You're the greatest illusionist in the 9 realms. Keeping my eyes on the goblets was intended to distract me from your scheme. The giant claps. I like you, so I won't banish you for all eternity. In fact, I'd like to invite you back sometime. Thank you. And next time, I'll bring my niece. Revna stands before the Allfather. She smiles, and so does Odin. You've done well. The ploys of Utgard Loki aren't to be taken lightly.
Thank you, Father. You honor me with your praise.
You are nearly finished with your tasks. Revna smiles even wider.
I am very excited. Aren't you?
Most certainly. You have proven yourself up to this point. Why don't you rest for a few days? I don't have anything in mind for you to do at this moment. Revna raises her eyebrow playfully.
Oh, getting nervous, Father. Am I completing these too quickly?
Odin waves his hand dismissively. Of course not, my precious daughter. You act as if this is the first time I've given you time to recover.
We're gods, Father. I can exert myself far longer before becoming truly tired.
True, but even we have our limits. Revna eyes her father suspiciously before smiling.
You're right, Father. I will rest. Don't take too long, or I'll have to pester you day and night.
Revna exits Odin's throne room. That evening, Revna and Asbjorn walk around Asgard together.
How do you like Valhalla?
It's everything I hoped it would be. I didn't expect to be here so soon.
That's understandable.
You know, if you had told me you were the daughter of the Allfather, I don't think I would have believed you.
I wouldn't expect you to. It would be difficult to prove such a claim.
All those stories about the gods being among us were true. Having Thor as a brother must be incredible.
He did teach me how to fight.
No wonder you gave me such a good battle. Could you beat him in a fight?
Revna laughs. Not yet. Maybe someday, but I need to keep training.
I never did get the chance to ask. What brought you to my village that day?
I was asked to by my father.
For what purpose?
I am searching for answers about my mother. If I complete 12 tasks for him, he'll tell me about her.
Why won't he tell you anything about your mom?
It's what I hope to learn.
Sometimes parents keep things from us for good reasons. Others for not so good reasons. As someone who didn't get to know his mother, I hope you find the answers you seek.
Thanks, Jarl Asbjorn.
It's just Asbjorn now. Revna laughs.
Very well, Asbjorn.
The two continue to walk in the night. Late in the evening, we see Odin in his study. He looks over several maps of the realms inquisitively. He exhales in slight frustration. There's a knock on the door. Come in. Frigg opens the door and steps inside.
Hello, my dear.
Hello, Frigg.
You weren't in bed. Does something bother you?
It's nothing I want you to worry about. I shall be along shortly.
If it bothers you, let me help you.
She looks at his maps.
This is about Revna. I understand she has nearly finished her tasks.
That she has. I fear I perhaps motivated her too much. She completes them with extreme efficiency.
I see. Perhaps I may be of assistance?
Odin thinks for a moment. Very well. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the matter. Frigg draws near to Odin and points on the map towards Alfheim.
Send her to Alfheim. I've seen glimpses of trouble, though it's unclear the source. Send your ravens for answers, then send your raven to deal with it.
Odin smiles. You're as wise as you are beautiful. Odin and Frigg continue to plan Revna's next labor. A few days later, Revna stands in front of Odin and Frigg.
I am ready for whatever you have next for me, Father.
I am glad to hear that, although it was Frigg who aided me this time. Revna looks surprised and smiles.
Is that so? Yes, I believe you'll enjoy what I have planned.
Now then, you're headed to Alfheim.
There's an elven village that has a troubling issue. The men have been disappearing under mysterious circumstances. They've been heading into the forest and not returning. The women want them to return. It's up to you to head to the village and see if you can return the men. Do these elves have any known enemies? I thought they were rather peaceful. The elves are known for their peaceful nature, but clearly someone has taken issue with this village. What about Freyr? Does he know about this? He does. and he has no issue with you handling the matter. He even helped us locate the village. I shall depart at once."
Revna exits her father's throne room, accompanied by Munin. Revna and Munin arrive in the village. Munin heads back to Asgard. The village itself is beautiful. It's a decent-sized village with the remaining elves going about their daily activities. The mood is somber, as a few begin to take notice of Revna. She is approached by several elven women.
"Are you of the Vanir? Did Freyr send you?" "No, I am of the Aesir. The Allfather sent me. I have heard of your troubles, and I wish to aid you. Can someone tell me why the men are disappearing? We can take you to Elder Valen."
The elven women escort Revna to a nearby home. Along the way, she spots a few remaining elven men. Inside the home is an elderly elven woman who is trying to concentrate on a spell.
"Lady Valen, one of the Aesir has come to aid us." "Ah, wonderful. Come in, child."
Revna and the others enter her home and sit around Lady Valen.
"You are trying to use Seder?" "Why, yes. We elves are gifted in magic. But we can discuss this later. Now to the matter at hand. A few days ago, my husband led the usual hunt for food. He and the hunting party left later than usual. We didn't think anything of it until the hunters didn't return. Naturally, we sent out several search parties. None returned. We couldn't send all of the men, or we'd have nobody left to perform the more difficult tasks, though we worry for the ones who are lost, or worse." "Do you have any enemies? Midgardians or Jotuns?" "None since I've been alive." "I think it's a dark elf, one that has recently come into the area. All the search parties disappeared at night." "A dark elf wouldn't survive a trip to Alfheim. Too much sunlight along the way. Besides, we have no quarrel with them." "Have there been no issues in the village?"
The elven women are silent.
"There was a recent incident. Gandalf had a falling out with his brother." "Who's Gandalf?"
"Our best and brightest warrior and magician. His brother has always been jealous of his talent. In truth, the two could have been equals. Only Gandalf remained committed to his studies."
"Where can I find his brother?"
"You can't. He stormed off into the forest."
"Before or after the disappearances?"
Valen's face sinks with sadness.
"Before. Sverke is a good man, but his jealousy is poisonous. I will not make any rash assumptions, but I have to assume he has a part in this. Is there anything else you can tell me?"
"Sverke had a good friend, Bjarn. He's the one who started the dark elf rumor,
before he too disappeared. It seems I need to wait until nightfall. Is there anything I can do to help around the village?"
Elder Valen smiles.
"Plenty, if you don't mind a bit of hard work."
Revna makes her way through the dark forest alone. She holds a torch that lights her path. She looks down at her sword.
"If only you could light on fire."
Suddenly, Revna gets an idea. She unsheaths her sword and holds it in the air.
"Ilder!"
Nothing happens. Revna holds the torch fire close to her sword. The runes flash and absorb the fire. Now she stands in darkness.
"No!" "Great job, Revna."
The runes on her sword glow faintly.
"Loki!"
Suddenly, the blade lights like a torch. Revna smiles and continues her journey. As she gets deeper in the forest, she arrives at a small clearing. She examines the area. The tree bark is scorched by magic.
"Light elf magic."
From another angle, someone or something is watching her. Revna finds a discarded bow and drag marks in the dirt. As she goes to stand up, she is struck in the face by a clubbing blow. The attack does no damage, but Revna sees her attacker clearly. Several tree-like creatures have surrounded her. The creatures begin their assault.
Revna is able to evade them rather easily. 6 creatures in total attack her, but their movements are slow and predictable. Revna begins to easily dispatch the tree blights, cutting them down and setting them ablaze with bronze sluker. One of the final tree blights unleashes a vine attack and wraps her ankles. Revna falls and loses her grip on her sword. The creature drags her into the forest as the remaining 2 tree blights follow. Revna simply grabs hold of the vines and uses her strength to crash the 3 foes together. She calls her sword to her and stabs through all 3 as the magic leaves their bodies. Revna remains still for a moment before she spins around, sword raised. An elven male stands with his hands up. "Wait! Are you one of the survivors?" "No, but that tells me why you're here." "Taking an evening walk, or were you checking to see if your minions were successful?" "I came to aid you, but it seems that wasn't necessary." "Who are you?" "Sverke." "Gandalf's brother?" "I see you've been to the village." "Have you been trying to find your brother?" "Let's talk in my home. It's close." "Very well. Lead the way." Revna follows Sverke into the woods. Sverke enters his home, followed by Revna. It's a small forest home, built for one. Decorated modestly, yet maintains elven elegance. "Thirsty?" "I am fine. What can you tell me about these attacks?" "I know when they started. My brother and I got into another one of our disagreements. Whenever I get angry with him, I usually come out here, spend a few days to calm myself." "What made you so angry?" Sverke flashes a bit of anger. "I had made a simple mistake on a hunting trip, but Gandalf tried to turn it into a life lesson." "It sounds like he was only trying to help." "I know, but in the moment I was being hard-headed. A day or so later, my brother visited me, told me about the missing villagers. He wanted me to help search, but I was still angry with him. Told him to leave and not bother me again. I haven't seen him since." "Did you have any other visitors out here?" "Only my friend Bjarn, but I assume he's gone too." "Any dark elves in the area?" "Dark elves? No. Those creatures you faced were brought to life using Sather." "I've got to find the survivors. Whoever animated those trees might be aware they're no longer active. Is there anything you can tell me?" "I've noticed those creatures every now and then. I saw them taking a few bodies up the valley. I believe there's an old fortress atop the hill. It's likely where you'll find them." Revna heads for the door. "I'd ask if you want my help, but I'd only slow you down." "I'll see to it everyone makes it home." Revna leaves the small home and flies up the valley. Inside a small room, we see the surviving elves, each one bound by chains. Gandalf looks around at his tired and hungry allies. The door opens, and the dark elf walks inside. "Hungry?" The elf's eyes fixate on the bountiful tray of food held in the dark elf's hand. "Feed my men. I will take what's left." "Yes, I suppose they're not as strong as you, oh mighty Gandalf." The tray of food is set down in the middle of the cell. The dark elf exits the cell before releasing their bonds. The men eat hungrily, but there isn't enough. "You must know, I will get out of here, and when I do, you will die." The dark elf laughs. "Is that so?" The elder elf looks at Gandalf. "Do not provoke him. We need you for it to survive." The dark elf sends a blast of shadowy dark magic that hits Gandalf in the chest. Gandalf grits his teeth, but falls unconscious. "Fool. Not so high and mighty now, are you?" The dark elf suddenly looks over his shoulder. The elder elf watches him. The dark elf returns his focus to the captives. "If you'll excuse me." The dark elf leaves and Gandalf opens his eyes. "That was risky, but it worked. My theory was correct. That wasn't dark elf magic." "I see. It seems something got his attention. Was that you?" Gandalf shakes his head. "No."
Revna flies through the trees up the valley. She spots the old fortress. She also spots more tree blights along the path. The tree blights take notice of her and prepare to attack. Revna swoops down and begins to cut them down with ease. She hovers in the air as someone stands atop the fortress. Revna sees the dark elf. "Who are you? Why do you attack my minions?"
"I am Revna, Odin's daughter. I have come to rescue the villagers."
The dark elf hesitates. "You shall do no such thing. You will die here." The dark elf begins to fire blasts of dark elf magic. Revna dodges most of them until one manages to hit her, sending her tumbling in the sky. She regains her composure and flies in. At the last possible second, the dark elf erects a magical barrier around himself. However, he can't maintain it for long against her blows. As Revna breaks the barrier with her fist, a shadowy hand grabs her and slams her into the ground. Revna prepares to charge, but can see he's waiting for her. Instead, she sheathes her sword and prepares her satyr. The two begin to clash. Revna starts by firing beams of magical energy, which the dark elf easily counters. The battle continues until Revna switches tactics and fires shards of ice at the dark elf. The dark elf maneuvers out of the way, getting hit on the shoulder. Revna is stopped mid-flight by multiple shadowy tendrils smacking her. Spell after spell is fired. The dark elf begins to gain the upper hand. Revna sees an opening and fires a fiery explosion at the dark elf, forcing another barrier. He's knocked off the ledge, and Revna goes to punch him. One final spell is cast just as Revna's fist connects with his jaw. Thick, black smoke fires everywhere, blinding Revna. She uses another spell to cause a gust of wind to clear the area. When she looks for the dark elf, he's gone. Gandalf and the others are still inside the fortress. They hear movement outside the door and wait with anticipation. It opens, and Revna is standing there. We see the elves having been returned home, embracing their loved ones.
"Thank you, Revna. You have done us a great kindness."
Revna smiles.
"It was my pleasure, Elder Valen."
"It's unfortunate the villain escaped us."
"Agreed. And if he knows what's good for him, he'll return to Svartalfheim."
"If that's where he's headed." There's a slight commotion as Sverka returns with his friend Bjarn.
"I believe my work here is done."
Revna lifts off into the air. Gandalf approaches the two. "It's good to see you, brother. You as well. Bjarn, I don't recall you being among us."
"I was conducting my own search. I gave up and found your brother."
Gandalf places a hand on Bjarn's shoulder, and he winces from the impact ever so slightly. "Good to see you alive. We'll talk later, brother." Indeed. The two elves walk into the village, followed by Gandalf. Hey guys, Big Green Dragon here. We are almost done with Myth Girl Season 1. Thank you for everyone for telling me how much you've enjoyed the series so far, and I look forward to closing out this first season strong. Remember, after Myth Girl concludes, Starblade and the Martian Marauder will be kicking off. And until then, take care, Dragon out.